Fam, we are live. What is good?
Good people. Good people, good people, good people, good people.
You know what it is. First of all,
Welcome.
it's quiet.
Way too quiet. I'll give you guys the intro while people are trickling in here.
Yep.
You know what time it is. Download the app. That's our sponsors, Drum Tracks app. We have over 150 play-alongs, really 160 to stream for free. You can sign up for free. You can download for free. You can create a free account. There's a whole lot of free in this situation.
My
Now,
God,
streaming inside the app, you got to have a data plan, okay? Or you have to have a Wi-Fi connection, and it is a mobile app. It is not laptop. It is not computer. It is cell phone. It is, Android, iPhone. It's tablet, or it's iPad work. Whichever ones you got, just not computer, okay? Don't do it. If you want the premium membership where we have video lessons, I don't know, over 300. Who's counting? I'm not really here to display the numbering like that. I'll leave that up for D. If you want access to that or access to our workout videos like the Shed Camp, the Modified Shed Camp, and our new series called the Do the Work Camp, that is the premium membership. That's $10 a month, or it's $100 per year, which gives you 2 months free. I would sign up for the $100 per year because I like to save money. But if you just want to do the $10 thing, by all means, pay your tithes and your offering. So you can access more videos. But not only that, you actually get access to be able to download 5 free tracks per month. So therefore, what that means is every month you get a new 5 that you want to pick. If you don't have Wi-Fi, you don't have a data plan, if you're on the airplane, if you are in a place where a remote area where there's not a lot of good cell phone reception, you can still play those tracks inside the app because you have downloaded them to your profile. Basically, you have
you download them to your library where you can stream tracks offline. Library. Yeah, your offline library.
I call it the shed list on mine because I shed to these tracks.
Well, the shed list is actually different from the library. There's 2 separate sections. The shed list is where you create your own playlists that you stream. The library is where you save your tracks that you can stream offline.
Well, listen, I'm part owner, so my shed list is where it's downloaded. Y'all don't have that access. I'm sorry. Okay.
Quiet.
Damani did correct me. Forgive me for not giving you the correct.
Your volume just dropped out of nowhere.
Huh?
Okay, there we go. Now we can hear you again. Better.
We're back.
Wow.
So download the app. All in all, download the app because you know what's best for you. That's Drum Tracks. All right.
Yo, shout out real quick to the people that have trickled in. We got 3 people in the chat right now. Shout out to Charles Gray. Shout out to Kenneth Chapman. Shout out to Tyrone. Man, so first of all, I don't know why it is like because I started jogging right last week. Today was actually my 6th day straight jogging. Right, my goal is to get to 3 miles, to be able to run 3 miles without stopping in 3 months. And so I started jogging this past week after the holiday. So it was on Tuesday. I was like, cool, I'm going to the track. There's a track not far from my house. And I started running laps. So I don't know why, but like yesterday I don't know if it was while I was running or at some point, but wearing shorts, because I don't usually like walk around in just shorts, but since I've been running, I'm running in shorts. Bro, these mosquitoes have bit my legs. Like, I can't even count the amount of mosquito bites that I have on my calves down, bro. Like, it is...
Brody.
You can't see me, but right now, I'm literally rubbing my legs trying not to scratch because, bro, like...
Brody, you're running too slow. You got to run faster, man. They shouldn't be able to catch you.
They shouldn't be able to catch me? I figure if I'm moving at all, they should, like, not be able to stay on my leg and suck my blood. Like, I don't understand, bro. It's like, on this left calf alone, I'm literally feeling 1, 2, 3...
Hey, listen.
Four on the left calf. Then if I go down to below my calf, 5, 6, 7 mosquito bites on my left leg. Now,
well, here's the reason. It's because of all this doggone social distancing. They don't have any food. Okay, everybody's in the house.
They see one
Now,
person. They see one person.
they see somebody like, oh, it's a wrap. Like I'm literally dying out here.
Because I didn't even, but they must be the small mosquitoes. Because I did find a small mosquito in my house, and I was thinking to myself like, maybe it was the small mosquitoes that got me. Because usually you can see the bigger ones that are flying around. You can hear them. You can even feel them sometimes land on your leg and slap them off or whatever. But this time, bro, I was like, I woke up in the middle of the night. Or I guess this morning, but I woke up in the middle of the night like, why are my legs on fire right now? Jeez, like it's
brethren,
bro.
I run in full sweatfits, but of course if you're going during the day, then
bro, there's no way. And there's 100 degrees. Like the last few days hasn't been, but 100 degrees is coming again this week. There's no way.
Run at 4 a.m. You be all right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that, but I will be out there at like 7 or 8 because it'll only be like 80 degrees at that point. But
too doggone hot.
It is. It gets warm. I mean, I played football though, so when I played football and you have football practice when it's 106 degrees and you have your helmet on, you can get used to the heat, bro. You can. And trust me, if anybody hates the heat, you know it's me.
That's how you know y'all are insane. You're dying from heat. You being deprived of water, of course.
No, they have the horse out there. You know what I'm talking about when I say the horse?
Listen, you have heat stroke, which causes your brain to malfunction. So you think, it's a good idea?
Wow.
Let me go head first into that running back's chest and put him in the ground. Wow. That's going to be awesome.
Well, that's actually, no, we don't think about that. That's not because it's hot. That's because that's the objective of the game.
And that's why you have concussions.
I've never had a concussion.
You're lying.
I'm not lying.
This is how you know you've had a concussion, because you don't even remember having a concussion.
Wow.
That's exactly the sign of a concussion.
Wow.
Okay? You don't even remember it happened.
So I guess we'll go in circles. I guess that's what it is.
That's what your head is doing. It's the circles going around your head right now.
You can't prove that you're not guilty because you didn't remember not doing it. Or you don't remember the fact that you did it, so you can't prove that you didn't. I'm like, what? This doesn't make any sense.
Now you're getting it.
No.
You got it.
Yes, I do. I got it. You're nuts.
Okay, let's get on to today's topic. The people don't want to hear about how concussed you are from football.
Listen, I don't even really feel like we have a topic today. It's I mean, we could get on here and talk about drums. We could get on here and talk about double strokes and practicing. We could get on here and act like we don't really know what's going on in the world right now, and it's difficult to do that because and I get it. Sometimes, some of our viewers may come on here and be like, hey, well, we're kind of coming on here to escape what's going on in the world. But the truth is, for the majority of us, especially the people who watch us, which tend to be, a lot of church drummers that play in black church, black drummers, we don't really get to escape the reality of what's happening in the world ever. And I'm not, this podcast is not to like come on and rant and rave and bash individual people right now. But we are human beings that have been experiencing everything that's been going on. And it is not something that I feel like we can ignore. Like, I know we're a drum company or a drum education company, and there's not a lot of drum education companies on the internet that are black. And we are. And being that we're black, that means we experience life through the lens of being black, experiencing life and seeing what's going on, and it affects us. And so I just, felt like it would only make sense if we were being honest in our true selves to get on the podcast and talk about how we've been actually dealing with it. I'm interested in how some of the people in the comments have been dealing with all the things that have been happening in the world. I mean, COVID-19 was something that hit super big and it affected the entire world, and we talked about it. So if something like what is happening in America is affecting the country so on a large scale, then why wouldn't we talk about it? You feel me?
I do feel you. I don't like to talk about this stuff because I haven't liked to talk about it on the podcast.
Right.
Because there's been a sense of desensitizing on my end. It's happened so much. Yeah. And it continues to happen that it's almost like, bro, let's just play the drums. Because it's this incident now, but there's going to be another one next month. and another one a month after that. Or maybe we might get a 2-month break. But when August gets here, you know what I mean? I do have mixed thoughts on what I'm seeing on social media. On one hand, I do like the fact that there are more people who are not Black posting about it. I see that. And I'm seeing more drummers, even more musicians are posting about it who are not Black. And when I say musicians, not just drummers. I mean, even piano players, guitar players, singers, and what have you.
Yeah, I saw a post from Anomaly Beats, which was, I was like, oh, okay. And
I think it's because of COVID. I think everybody's at the house, so most people are not as busy.
So you feel like the protesting and everything that's going on is just giving people something to do, and so you don't feel like the support is genuine. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying I have mixed thoughts. On one hand, I'm grateful that more people are paying attention, because that's what needs to happen. That's the conversations that have been needed to be discussed, and stop. Silence is compliance to me, so stop acting like it doesn't exist. And I'm just in my little box in my own world, and like, no, it's there. And so this whole stay at home, a lot of people with nothing to do but sit on their phones, tablets, be on even watching television. You're forced to see this stuff now. Even if you're not a person who looks up police brutality, there's somebody posting about it, and it ends up in your feed somehow, some way. And so on that aspect, it's a good thing. Like, hey, at least more people are being made aware, and because of the awareness, the anger has settled into a lot of people to where, okay, we're now not just protesting in the city, we're protesting across the country. Like, oh no, y'all fix that over there, or we finna destroy this over here. Or some of it's peaceful protests. We're not leaving until we have an answer from something that's happening over there, because we're fed. The other side.
Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
Mixed thought, which is shorter, is that whole, now y'all want to post,
right? That Kendrick Lamar. Like, where were you when I was walking?
Where were you? Because when Corey Jones was taken, he's actual drummer, who was in the car after a gig, middle of the night, like many of us have done, driving to and from gigs. And car being broken down, and then the plainclothes cop comes by, ends up killing him. No need to go into all the details, but you're shot unarmed as a Black drummer, and I didn't see this much from the drum community about him. However, it's okay. I'm not, like I said, I have mixed thoughts. I'm like, I'm grateful there's more people aware, and I'm also like, fam, this has been happening, and it still happens, and it's not just the killings. What about the police brutality where they don't die? Just the flat out beatings, just the flat out, I'm gonna arrest you, abuse you, take you in, and then nothing happens. You just go home with a bloody lip, a broken arm, a severed finger, and it just is what it is. You're actually lucky, because when he body slams you and you're all of 115 pounds as a Black woman, at least you didn't die. So you didn't go like Sandra Bland and then all of a sudden we don't know what happened to her. She's just dead out of nowhere. And it sucks, where it's like, none of that's getting as much limelight as this particular case. But like I said, I'm grateful that it is getting this, because hey, we got an arrest out of the situation, and as the story keeps unfolding, there's more information that's being given to us.
Of course, for the majority of us, the arrest of that one cop is not enough, and some of us are not even happy with the charge. We feel like the degree should be higher, like a first degree, but or at least but not on some manslaughter.
But see, on the flip side of that, where it's like, third degree up to 25 years. Man, they could give them 2 days, but it says up to. The fact that that's even there, it sucks. But they at least giving this man third degree,
right? Like,
as opposed to And that's the part where that's why I don't want to talk about it, because it's really just a pick your poison situation. It's not good. Like we get to celebrate. Hey, we're one step closer, instead of him just walking away scot-free. Because they used to get they probably still do. They get paid leave. When Stephon Clark got killed in our city, it's like, he gets paid leave, and then they don't even question the police for like up to 20 to 30 days.
Right.
So they got 20 to 30 days to get their story together.
That's true. The part that
And
gets
then-
me is that they don't, like, people don't realize yet that the news cycles, and they do it every time when someone gets killed that's unarmed. Because that's what I think. I think that if a police officer kills someone who was unarmed and they kill that person with a gun, with a lethal weapon, then that should be black and white thing. This person didn't have a weapon, or if the person gets shot in the back, or if someone was already down, if they're already handcuffed and you kill them, like, I don't really see any come on, right? So at the end of the day, the news they'll start to try to bring up any criminal, all the worst of whoever that person was. If that person had a misdemeanor when they were 12 years old, they're going to put it front and center and say, this is who this person was, so we shouldn't care that this happened. And a lot of people, this is what I feel is different about this one than the rest, is that there are a lot of people who are seeing it for what it is, seeing the news for what it is. Unfortunately, it took something so grotesque, something that where people watched a man die for 9 minutes, and they saw it happen, and they saw that this man wasn't resisting. They saw that this man wasn't. You can't resist dying. Like, you're dying. He couldn't breathe, and you see the cop with his knee on his neck. And there hasn't been a lot of people saying that they didn't see what they saw, but everybody wants to be really slow about a charge, and then they want to be very lenient with it. When at the end of the day, like you said, this has been going on forever. But the difference is, like, you had the mayor of Minnesota standing up like, yeah, nah, this is not cool. If this happens, if this was a civilian, this person would be in jail and charged already. And let alone if this person was black and a civilian, right? And so then this is the craziest part, bro. This is the craziest part that I've seen. I'm starting to see videos of people who are at protests that are against the protesters, who are inciting violence. These are violent people that are at these protests, but not on the protesting side. The people who are opposing the protesting side, that are being violent towards people who are protesting. There was a video on Instagram with a guy with a bow and arrow. Did you see that?
No, I've purposely not watched any of the.
I've been trying not to. Like, today after this morning, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just get off of social media, period. But this is one of the last videos I saw today. A man with a bow and arrow got out of his car, screaming out "All Lives Matters," and he shot at somebody in the video. It looked like he shot up because people were like, "Yo, stop! Put that down!" He shot at someone with the arrow, and those people trounced on him, and he got beat up for doing that. And then when he was on the news and you could see him bloodied. Oh, by the way, the protesters that jumped on him were white people. This was a white guy who had the bow and arrow, violent white man who had the bow and arrow that was trying to shoot at people that were protesting peacefully. He shot at somebody. They jumped on him. These are white people who jumped on him, beat him up. When he went to the news and the news was talking to him, asking him what happened, he said he was sitting in his car and two African-American men came and beat him up.
Stop.
But this is the thing. It's caught on video. And so they have the video of him saying that next to the video of what actually happened. And it's like, wow, that's wild. There's also a video of white people vandalizing buildings and putting graffiti all over the buildings and putting BLM, Black Lives Matter, and hashtag this and hashtag George Floyd and stuff like that. And in the news, it's being reported that this is what black people are doing, but there's videos showing otherwise. And so, like, it gets real tricky. And so I don't know. It was just very interesting in seeing that. And it reminds me of the quote, I think it was Sidney Poitier who said it, like, to be black in America is to be enraged all the time. But literally to not be angry at what's happened and the response to what's happened, you just got to stay off social media. So for me, like, it's a big part of, me going jogging, which is just for my health, number one. And number two, it's a good release, right? You listen to music, you listen to podcasts or whatever, to kind of have your moment of peace, right? And also for me, has also been finding just regular things to be grateful for. Like I posted on Instagram the other day on my personal page, like I'm grateful for the fact that it's not 106 degrees today like it has been earlier this week, and I can go running, and it's 77 degrees outside, which feels like 62 when you've been in 105-degree weather like we have. So it's like small things like that. And I know, like, as musicians and drummers and stuff, like drums is, I'm sure, is definitely a way to escape. But sometimes, man, this stuff is really hard to escape.
Yeah, that part. I remember. So it's hard to escape when you're watching it on Instagram and YouTube or even the news media. But there was a time where you were even spared, and thank God you were. But when we're in LA, you're in a Prius with no tinted windows. We talked about it on a previous podcast, but for those of you who've seen that, I mean, you're what, 2 blocks from the gig? 3
blocks, 3 blocks, yeah.
And the police got you handcuffed on the hood of the car. Where you going, son?
Yeah, like, he had me up against the fence, but same thing.
We in the middle of LA. We are in the heart of the hood, but I mean, you're driving, and their excuse is
they couldn't see.
Your window tint is too dark.
Yeah, they couldn't see inside the car, and I said, well, I drive a Prius, and if you guys know anything about a Prius, the whole back of the car is a window. the whole back of the car is a window, and I have no tint on it.
But you're a black man. You got locks, bigger build. You're driving through the hood. It's not 2 a.m, but it's 7 at night, 8 at night. It's dark. Yeah. You're driving slow to try to find out the place, because we actually were playing at a venue where it's like, yo, is this the spot, or is it like, is it a house? We don't know. So you're driving slow, like, okay, this brother must be up to no good, because look at him. Okay.
Right. And it was literally him up, get him out the car, up against the fence, hands behind his back, and then we'll ask questions. And so I mean, you were spared as far as you wasn't beat. Because I mean, when we talk about these videos, I go back to Rodney King, where he was beat to a pulp, and they said, I feared for my life. So, you're not guilty. Like, yeah, I don't know how many guys it was, but multiple verse 1, and we whooping his tail. He was resisting, and we just thought he was going to snatch our guns and kill us. So you could have been in a situation like that. I mean, it's 30 plus years ago that happened, but or just about to be 30 years ago that happened. But you're in the same area, and they hemming you up off of some, for whatever reason, I don't know what they were really on that day. And then they had the nerve to play the good cop, bad cop thing. And that's the stuff that I'm talking about as far as doesn't get as much limelight. Because even though it's not physical abuse, it's a mental abuse thing towards Black people. Like, you're supposed to be afraid of the police. How many times has a police officer gotten behind you and your body just gets nervous? Like, you just like tense up, or you start sweating a little bit, like, man, don't pull me over, because mentally, if you pull me over for this stoplight, there is a possibility that I will not live after this. Right. And I think that's hard for a lot of people who are not Black to understand. But then again, it seems like there's a lot more people understanding what is the real experience. And, I've never been punched in the face by a cop. But the truth is, I feel like every time I interact with the police at a traffic stop and I don't get punched in the face, that I was lucky. That's the difference. And I feel that way because of my experiences. I've had bad experiences with police officers, and we know people who've had worse experiences than us. Then we see, the people who are getting killed. And here's the thing. To me, and to most people, in my opinion, it shouldn't matter if a person committed a crime. If a person stole some stuff from a liquor store, or if a person was selling fake or counterfeit whatever in front of a store, or if a person ran a red light and did something wrong that they should get cited for, or maybe even something that they should go to jail for, they shouldn't be killed. If a person resists arrest, they shouldn't be killed because the punishment doesn't fit the crime. If you break into somebody's house and you steal some stuff and you get caught, you should go to jail. Flat out. That's just the law. That's the consequences of the action. But if you steal a car and you get caught by the police, you shouldn't be murdered. You shouldn't be killed, even if you resist arrest.
Even in that go to jail, there's people that's going to prison for just breaking and entering for 10 years.
Correct.
Because they're black. And then you got these other people who are literally raping people. That's a real thing.
Yeah. And
they're getting off scot-free. Or like one dude who murdered his family, white guy, murdered his wife, murdered his kids, put them in a suitcase, threw them in the river. Mm-hmm. He got like 9 years. That was it.
Yeah. And I have my own personal experiences where my uncle was murdered, brutally beat by a white person and killed.
That part.
And that person sentenced, they're out in 6 years. When I say brutally beat, I mean they couldn't show his head at the funeral. Period.
Facts. So it's a real. I think you're right as far as other coaches will not understand.
Yeah.
They don't understand. I just think they're not going to because it's how can you? It's like us as men. I don't care how much cramping you have or how much pain you have going to a gym. We will never understand pregnancy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
even if they told us, hey, my feet is hurting or my stomach is cramping or this, that, and the third, you could tell me the pain. I could be like, I was in pain. I played football. I got hit one time, broke a collarbone, and you still won't understand the pregnancy unless you are a woman who has been pregnant.
Yeah.
And so the same with being black, where it's like, hey, unless you're black, it's not really, you can't understand it as much as we do.
Yeah.
You can be empathetic towards it. You can help fight the good fight with us, but there's no way you can fully understand. We're just, at this point, we're asking for more empathy and more people to be made aware of. There was one drummer that posted, he said, you know what? He has been in the white bubble. He has been privileged. He knows it. And he said, from now on, this incident has made it to where when he sees it in his town, when he sees any form of racism, he's now going to start calling people out.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, that's a step forward because he's like, I've heard white people say the N-word left and right growing up in my town, and you just kind of go, that's them. It ain't me. I'm not racist. It's them. Nah, it's like, hey, bro.
Nah, yeah.
Chill.
You are, yeah. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's racism is not black people's problem. Because when I look at people who are white and that are racist, what I realize is that it's not my problem, it's yours, because I don't hate you. You hate me. You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
And you don't even have reason to hate me. You don't. Even if just because I'm black, because of the history that black people have in this country, it would make more sense for us to hate you. We actually have reason. And we don't hate you.
Well,
but there's some people who do. Yeah, we understand. And I'm not saying that all white people hate black people. But at the end of the day, like it's still a reality in America. And it's still very present and upfront. And you can see it in the comments of the people who are supporting, the white people who are supporting the cause, the white musicians who are supporting. When I went through Anomaly Beats comments, because he has a lot of followers, you have people that were like, man, appreciate you, thanks for the support. Other people who were like, other white people who were like, yeah, I'm with you. And then you had the other white people who were upset with him for supporting. My whole thing is, if you don't support it, you don't support it. But why are you mad that other people are supporting? There's something there. It's like, okay, I don't like coconuts. I really don't in real life. I don't like coconuts. I don't like the way it tastes. It makes me gag. But I'm not mad that my brother wants to have coconuts.
Because this is a serious podcast, I'm not going to say the joke that's in my head.
Yeah, you can. You are. Wow. Pause. We'll leave it at that, huh?
Brody, but listen.
But yeah, I mean, we don't need to. I don't feel like we need to belabor this. Everybody knows what's going on. I just felt like, man, with the world that we live in, as far as being able to record everything and everything is documented, man, it only makes sense for I don't want to be that drum company that acts like we're not human beings. There's human beings behind this.
Zildjian and Vic Firth posted something.
I haven't seen anything that they've posted, and I'm not saying that other drum companies are. My statement has nothing to do with any other drum company, drum education company. That's them. If they're supporting, great.
Aaron Spears called him out and tagged him.
What did he say?
On Instagram, it was something, I'm paraphrasing, so y'all have to go to his page and look at it. But he has a post saying, why are y'all not stepping up? You know what I mean? Yeah, y'all supported us when we got to play drums for you, basically.
No, time out. Let me just, I know he probably didn't say this, but in my mind, I look at artists and companies when they have endorsements, those relationships are not company up here, artists down here. Those relationships are mutually beneficial. The artist gets gear, the company gets the exposure because of the gig and the audience that this person has. It's marketing. They would pay for marketing on Facebook or Instagram or in Modern Drummer back in the day, but what they're doing is they're giving away their product instead of just spending money, which is worth money, to the artist, so the artist can. So I don't even look at it as the artist works for the company. It is mutually beneficial. I get gear, you get the exposure.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Like I said, I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
Where he's like, why don't you guys say something too? This is a human issue.
Right.
We're all humans, basically.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like you will basically endorse a bunch of black drummers. I mean, mind you, I am paraphrasing, so you have to go to his post
right.
to see what he wrote. Don't take my word as, hey, he said this because he taught the Aaron Spears chop, so he's saying exactly what Aaron Spears said. Like, no. But he's paraphrasing like, yo, stand up and say something.
Yeah. Like
anything. Because right now there's that thing going around as far as sign the petition.
Yep.
And maybe that is the step. The step is like just more people need to be aware. Sign the petition. Let's have enough people pissed off to the point where they make a decision in favor of the victims.
Yep.
So, yeah, even he posted that, like, yo, where y'all at? But I saw Vic Firth and Zildjian posted a post addressing the issue. Drumeo Gab also posted a post addressing the issue. I don't know if Drumeo was a part of that, but I know, the guy who runs Drumeo Gab, we interviewed he posted the situation. So yeah, there's more people posting about this particular incident, because the one before this, the one that happened in March with the girl, there wasn't, at least the people that I've seen posting, they didn't post about her.
Ormad Aubrey
didn't post about him either, as far as what I'm seeing now. But it's all lumped into the same situation. I mean, it's still being victimized, being marginalized. It's still Black people dying at the hands of excessive force by the police, or being abused as well. For those who didn't die but are getting kicked in the back, kicked in the head, arms broken, hands broken, stuff like that, body slammed for no reason, just trying to have a conversation with them like, yo, what did I do? Let me know what I did so that I saw a video. This is why I stopped watching those videos. I saw a video of a Black guy, this years ago.
Okay.
At least 2 years ago, probably 3. He's getting out the car at a gas station.
Yeah.
Cop pulls up, and on the cop cam, he's like, put your hands up, get him up. Guy puts his hands up. He goes, give me your license or registration, or show me your ID. The Black guy reaches in the car, comes out with the wallet, shot, bang, bang, in the hip. And then the cop walks up, why are you reaching for the gun? He's like, no, I grabbed my wallet. Why did you shoot me?
Yeah. Like,
yo, it's burning. It's hot. Like, bro, like, call me an ambulance. And then the cop's like, hey, quiet. Shh, calm down. I'm calling you an ambulance. Calm down. You don't have to yell. He's like, bruh, you just shot me. You just shot me. My wallet was inside I was about to go. I was going to grab the wallet anyway, because he's going to grab it to get to the station to pump the gas.
Yeah.
But when the cop pulled up, yo, you you drop the wallet, whatever, you're discombobulated because it's like, oh, snap, yo, hands, what do I got to do? Oh, get the, cool, here it is, bang, bang, shot. Like, yo, you shot me for no reason. I was doing exactly what you said. Now, that person ended up living.
Did he get to sue? Did he sue and get
That I don't know. I don't know. I didn't even know his name. It was just a random
I would
video.
have tried to sue the socks off that.
Well, see, that was a random video posted on back when it had to be 3 years ago, because back when I still had Facebook, it was a page that was dedicated to exposing police brutality on Facebook. And that was just one of the videos where it's like, yo, there's incidences of that where he didn't die, but you still get shot or you still get beat or you still get, abused in a way. And this man is just following what you told me to do this, so I'm going to do that. And then they had, listen, we could talk about this all day. Yeah. They had that whole, the one dude that came out and said, Black people, we got to do something to stop being killed. So this is what you should do. You should have your wallet already out on the dashboard. When a police officer gets behind you, already have your hands showed up, move really slowly. And then as he asks you for stuff, repeat what he said and tell him what you're doing, which before that video came out, I do anything, right? They're like, I need license registration. Hey, my license is in my left pocket. So I'm about to reach for it. You good? Because I got to make sure you straight.
Right.
It's just a wallet right here. But they're saying, hey, this is what you need to do, because if we stop moving so fast to make them uncomfortable, then they'll stop abusing and attacking us. And it's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
There's a black man. Like, backhand your whole forehead.
Yeah, I get where he's coming from and what he's trying to do. His heart is in the right place, but he's just leaving out the fact that they're already uncomfortable and they're already looking. Their hands are already on the trigger. I mean, like I said, I have more personal experiences that I could bring up, but for what, right? At this point,
good people. We hope that you enjoyed this podcast.
No, the whole thing is just to, we stand against what's going on. As individuals, as a company, we are not for the police brutality. We're not for racism. We're not for the bigotry. I mean, we've experienced there is racism in the drum community and drum industry. It's just facts. It's been going on for a long. It's been going on for a long time. We know that that's there, and we don't.
Hey,
what's up?
Hey, I'm gonna say it. Vinny Colaiuta, Steve Gadd, and Dave Weckl, they can have a drum battle. Black drummers show up in the shed at church, they overplaying.
Yeah. It's I mean, the racism thing has been it's codified. But it's been here for the longest. Honestly, this is a big part of why drummers started shying away from gospel music or the gospel chops brand, because they wanted to be accepted by the majority. That's just facts of what it was. A lot of drummers started playing rock music. There's nothing wrong with playing rock music, but it was I don't do that. I don't do this. I'm not this guy. I don't play that. I'm not that gospel guy. Like, bro, you grew up in your whole background, your whole everything is a church. What are you talking about? But at the end of the day, it is what it is. We know that it's there, but we just want to have this podcast as human beings, not just as a drum company. And so, yeah, I'm gonna hop into the comments. Blake the Great says we should tell them about how Michael Jackson is a legend and how and you know what? You've already said it. You're absolutely right. I agree with you. No need to say anything else on it. Tyrone J. Thompson, he says he's like Somadi, just numb to the situation because it happens so often. Plus, I'm the only black person at my job, so the question/comments makes me want to get fired sometimes. That is rough.
Brody, don't lose your job. Don't lose your job, Brody.
I wouldn't say lose your job. You need your income. You got to live. Blake the Great says, I have a feeling that every time something like that happens, it's going to get worse and worse. Man, again, I feel like this is a little different. At first, I didn't feel like it was different. At first, I was like, here we go again. But I feel like this is a little different because of the actual outcry of people who are not black. No, not even just people who are not black. The outcry of white people. The fact that white people are getting tired of white people acting like this. Then it's like, okay, they're not going to, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you going to do? You're going to just keep looking at it and being like, oh, those black people are upset and they're protesting and those people are rioting. No. When you see that it's white people tearing down the stores and you see there's white people peacefully protesting with peacefully protesting black people as well.
Yeah, but the news is calling them thugs, and we know what thugs means.
Right. That's it's the right wing media that does that. Period. I watched an interview because there was some rioting and looting that happened in L.A. last night, Fairfax, I think it was, and all this whole strip of expensive stores, and there was people standing outside, and she went to talk to the business owner. She was like, "I know you guys are devastated. Were you terrified when this happened?" And they were like, "Listen, we totally understand it sucks that, our business got its stuff stolen, or that this business got its stuff stolen, but it's the business comes secondary to life. And if the life is not getting justice, then what is our business?" And so, like, you have white people, when you had a white reporter trying to frame something a certain way, you had other white people like, yeah, nah, we're not going to go with the regular storyline. And that's what's different than before. Now, there's still people who are against, there's black people too, who are against everything and think that most people should just, be quiet, and George Floyd probably deserved to die. There's people who feel like that. But the fact that the it's almost like we're seeing more unity than we have before because of this. So
yeah, I've noticed that.
I don't know how to pronounce this name. It says I'm not gonna even try. It's Aubiejaagou, and last name is David. He says those cops should get the death penalty. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've had thoughts. That's what I'm gonna say. Because I think it's like this. Here's an idea. When you are a police officer and you have the authority to take someone's life just because you feel like you're in danger, right? And sometimes cops are in danger. I'm not saying that doesn't happen. But I feel like if you are given the freedom to make that life and death decision, that it should be followed up with a very high accountability. If somebody dies because you are out doing your job, and you cannot equivocally account for what happened, and if we find out that in your account that you lied at all, there should just be an automatic charge, because there's no reason that police should be out here killing people like this. There's just no reason. And if you have that much authority, then the people above you need to have that much accountability with you. You should be thinking 3 times before you pull that trigger, because you know that it could be the end of your life too.
I put it like this, man. Years ago, at least 15 years ago, my uncle was outside of Walmart, and they thought that he had stolen something because I think it was a fishing pole, but he had the receipt for it. Doesn't matter. But they hemmed him up in the middle of July, hot as I don't know what, and they put him face down on the asphalt, right on the concrete, the black part, okay, where the parking lot is, burns all over his body, and police, so on and so forth. Excessive force, ridiculous, from the security guards even, then the police and the whole nine. Ended up not getting a dime for it, even though he tried to sue. He lost the case. But that could have been my uncle 15 years ago. Yeah. Because they had him down, handcuffed on the ground, and no, there was no knee on the head, but the 150-degree asphalt burning, like to this day, it looks like fire was set to the left side of his body. Yeah. Because it was so hot. It's like, that type of excessive force that happened in my family. There just wasn't no knee on the head that caused him not to breathe. But it could have been, they was on him, but it wasn't that to that extent. And the stuff, it's like we said before, it's just been happening. And it's happened so much, like my brother said, he's like me. I'm a little desensitized. Also, I would say this to my man who said that he's desensitized. I did go too far. I went on Facebook and followed the pages that was police brutality, and I watched that for like 2 years straight. Every day I saw a video, and I don't recommend y'all do that. But for those of you who are unaware, if you're unaware and you want to know the history and want to see it, yes, there are pages that's dedicated to where, hey, you have no excuse now. You can Google and search it and like, oh yeah, that actually happened. No matter the year, it's just, that happened, and it's continually happened. But that's why I became desensitized, because it just got to the point of like, I'm doing this to myself. I'm watching this too.
Yeah, definitely. You got to do things to maintain your sanity.
Yeah, I'm not laughing to make light of the situation. I'm literally laughing like, I can't believe I was over here on this side of the pendulum, just watching videos every day. Like, why would I torture myself to that? So anyway, move right along.
Yep.
Next comment.
Tyrone J. Thomas says he had one of those anti-protesters in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
He said that anti-protester lit up a cop car on fire, and somebody caught it on tape. It's like you got people who are against the protesting, trying to going out to make the protesters look bad. That's just a wild thing.
Yeah.
And it's hard to decipher between who's who.
Yeah, someone posted that there was a cop doing that too, like going out there dressed in all black, covering his face, and trying to make it seem like they're more violent than they are.
Yeah, it's wild.
And I've been to Pittsburgh where they are biased out there. There's parts of that. I walked into the restaurant at the time, and my boy told me too. We was there for his wedding. He said, "Yo, don't go nowhere by yourself. They don't like black people here. I'm serious. I went to college out here. They don't food with us like that. You go with a group of people, and you go to the spots that we are predominantly at. Don't go. I'm telling you." I'm like, nah. There's a Walmart here. There's a car wash, like a quick quack car wash. This is public. There's a Office Depot right here. Basic. Like, hey, everybody uses this type of stuff, man. We all use faxing paper. Like, let's go get some paper for the printer. He's like, bro, don't. I'm telling you. I said, man, I'm just gonna grab me some food. So I went to, I believe it was Applebee's or Red Robin. And when I walked in, the server lady looked at me like, "Can I help you?" I said, "Yeah, let me." I was thinking, do y'all have a to-go menu? Can I order to-go? Because I'm like, I'm not gonna stay where all these people, are looking at me crazy. And no lie, I took her like 37 seconds. Now, 37 seconds, not a long time, unless you're in this situation. Like 37 seconds that she looked around like, give me one moment. Yeah. And then walked back, grabbed the menu, came out, and was like, we're not serving this and we're not serving that. This is the time. It's lunch. So, okay. Wow. I just wanted a burger and some fries. This is back before I became vegan. I was like, I just want some burger and some fries. I just want to see the type of burgers y'all had. And so when I ordered it, I mean, the look on her face was just like she wanted to say it. Like, who told you?
Right.
And even the people that was at the restaurant sitting down, no, they didn't say anything to me, but they was giving me some side eyes, not like, get out of here, you. They was giving me that like, bruh, do you know where you at? I said, whoa. So I came back and told my boy, I said, yo, they gave me the food. I don't know if they spit in it or not.
Right.
I said, hey, I wouldn't eat it. I said, I'm starving. If you're going to eat, go to Subway where you can see them making your sandwich. Yeah. Okay? Don't, I wouldn't. I ate it anyway, but I was like, yo, you was telling the truth. Yeah, bro, for 4 years out of my life. You thought I lied to you?
To the homie of homie Tyrone, who was in Pittsburgh, or I don't know if he's there or not, but yeah, R.D. Smith.
I'll say this as a side note. My homie almost got jumped by white people in Pittsburgh.
Wow.
Because Pittsburgh, Ben Roethlisberger, the quarterback for the Steelers, had that rape charge, that rape case that he ended up beating. But at the time, known to be a sodomizer, right, going through the case, my boy was out there, and he mentioned it publicly. Like they was talking bad about Michael Vick killing the dogs, or doing the dog fighting thing.
And he was like, well, what about?
And he said, don't y'all got a rapist for a star quarterback? Because when he got injured, Michael Vick got signed, and to the Steelers for a little bit, and so he said, hey, didn't y'all have a rapist? So it was after he beat the case, but didn't y'all have a rapist? Blah blah blah. That was or almost convicted of being raped. He was accused of it, and they was like, you don't try to grab him, him up. You don't talk about Ben. Like what? Brody, you don't even know him. You ain't like. He ain't even your people's like that, and you defending him. My man's in a public situation. 3 white dudes try to run up on him like you don't ever speak ill of our star quarterback.
Wow.
Well, he's injured, and the black dude who's actually doing very, very well.
Yeah.
You're talking bad about him, but I can't talk bad about. Okay, it's all good. Pittsburgh is definitely.
It's a wild place. Apparently, that's one place I don't think I've been to Pittsburgh
yet. I'm not just saying it just because the homie told me I was there.
Yeah.
Like, y'all a different breed out here, family.
Well, look, I'm finna get on with these comments. Shout out to R.D. Smith. He says, hello, fellas. Another joint from, I'm going to call him A. David. He says, I wonder what about us as black people makes us targets. What are we guilty of? Well, the history tells us a lot when we come to that. We haven't done anything. Nope, we haven't. But there is a history.
Type in Black History on Google.
Yeah. R.D. Smith says, honestly, Soul Tone said something about it, so I'm trying to bounce, but Soul Tone said something about it, so I'm trying to bounce, but from this for real. I don't know. Maybe there was a little typo. He can explain that in a minute.
He said, I'm trying to bounce back from this for real?
Oh, yeah. Maybe he said that. And A. David, he left a comment, says we can call him Obby for short, and so that's what I'm going to call him, Obby. We got R.D. Smith says, media double standards just have me messed up, and cops need to follow the oath to the letter. Facts. I couldn't agree more. We got Auntie Sheila in the building. She says, gentlemen, all my love to you. God help us. Listen, because if he doesn't.
But we know the history of cops started from slave catching anyway. Go ahead.
Oh, you talking about for R.D. Smith's comment? Yeah. There's a history. And I know, like, it as you know, our people who follow us, people who watch our podcast are predominantly black. They you guys understand the culture, you know what's up. And so we definitely feel like we could talk with y'all, but I know for the majority of the drum world, there's this type of conversation makes a lot of them uncomfortable. I mean, we've gotten posts before when we talked about when we were having a bunch of killings before, and we've brought it up just for a quick second, where people will put in the comments, why don't you just shut up and teach the drums and da-da-da-da-da. It's all on Facebook, the whole nine. We've experienced a lot of that too. So we know where it's at, but we appreciate y'all. We appreciate Auntie Sheila. Listen, because if God can't help us. And
if any of you still feel that way, you can definitely pull up and we can have a conversation face to face. And you can swallow teeth.
Yeah.
When I'm finished.
Yep. Auntie Sheila says, all my love to you. God help us. Yeah. Tyrone says, I still live here in Pittsburgh, and yes, some of the areas here are really racist. He said, and they sneaky about it too. Blake the Great says, in the end, Ben is trash, and so is the Steelers. Brody, I was not expecting that. Hilarious.
Hey, they got a black coach, man. Come on. You can't, you know what I mean? You got to support our own.
Yo, look, y'all, thanks for coming and hang with us today. Yeah, we'll be back with a guest next week. I think we got Joe Chin scheduled for next week. So I'll follow up with him and see what we can get going on. But I did want to mention this to you guys. If you're an iOS user right now, it's coming for both Android and iOS, but the iOS update is out. So if you haven't updated your app, update the app. And if you are not a paid subscriber on the iOS, we are doing an introductory offer, man. We're letting you guys try the app out for a month. All the video lessons, all the features that are paid, the whole nine for $1 for 30 days. It's $9.99 after that if you want to continue, but we are throwing it out there for you guys. That update is up for iOS right now. Android, that update is coming in like the next day or two. It may even be up tonight. I'm not sure, but you guys will get a notification that's telling you to update your app. And when you do update your app, there will, if you are not already a paid subscriber on the app, you get to try it out for $1, 30 days, and then after that, $9.99 a month. If you want to keep going, you don't have to keep going. You can cancel anytime in the first 30 days. So just wanted to put that out there. Shout out to y'all, and and hopefully next week we can get back to some drums, man. But we'll see what happens. All right, y'all. Until next time, peace.